Gale of Gaia did an interview with Drake Bailey on Sunday, December 13, 2020. We do understand that our viewers want the free-range shows with Drake to be uploaded to YouTube. It used to be fairly easy in the past. It is much more difficult today with all the censorship on social media platforms. Here is a short clip from Gale's chat with Drake.
Drake, what do we got? We've been promising some new and exciting intel. So why don't you start off with some exciting and new intel that we need to know about?
Okay, well, I will suggest that it isn't all mine, but I know about it. Let's see, Sunday, not this past week, the week before last is when I found out about it. Let's see, about the 3rd of this month is when I first heard of it. And it seems that there were quite a large load of material and personnel who got moved from the center of the country to both coasts, primarily Ellis Air Force Base in Nevada. That's a distribution point. So they're used to going in all directions, poof. And so they can put things wherever they might need them. So we got some kind of a scare that was a secret memo in the Democratic Party. It wasn't supposed to go anywhere at all. As a matter of fact, it was supposed to have been destroyed. Whoops.
It didn't get destroyed, eh? Don't you love it?
No.
Like when the mic's not supposed to be on and it is on.
Right. That's the live mic. And yeah, you know what you can do with this. Anyway, this is a little bit worse than what people thought. They weren't expecting this. It was a shock to the system of all of the intel families. You name an intel agency, they were shocked.
Wow. You need to tell us what it is.
Well, I'm not going to just jump in it. I'm going to lead up to it and present it properly. Now,
oh, okay. Go for it.
If you think that staying in your house because of C-19 is bad, think about staying in your house 4 to 6 months. Now, I'm talking about a lockdown. Nothing moves unless you got to go get groceries. That's, about it. Hal Turner has a website, and he's the one that came up with the primary information. And as I understand it, he's been getting knocked off of existence since November, about the mid of the month, because he was trying to put this stuff together. Oh boy, good cigarettes.
Maybe you need some water.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, he got the thing together finally, and posted it. There's only a few people that got it before they closed him down again. But some of the people who did get it got the whole thing, the whole enchilada, a great big old fat slobbery thingamabob, kind of like a big wet kiss in the ear that you're not expecting. Anyway, the intel agencies about lost their mind when they read that. Oh, can't be true. Well, you see who it's to and who it's from. Yeah. You think they're conspiracy nuts and all that, and got conspiracy theories going on big time? And no, well, I would check into it. So they did. And come to find out, anyway, sequestration is a legal taking of your right to move around, function, etc., or go any place except staying on your property. Remember that. Well, come on now, I don't need that stuff. Okay. The interesting part about it was that he got some definitive information. Nellis Air Force Base, and that's in Actually, north of Las Vegas. It's in northeast Las Vegas. Real tight little valley out there that they can control.
Yeah, I've
really
been by it a number of times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know some people that work there. Oh, what was funny was the number of aircraft. Um, let's see here, and it was
There was a ton of movement there. Those big
minute,
C-17s, are they, or something like that? I'm not that familiar with what those are, but I'm sure you are. But somebody told me they're huge and they carry all kinds of stuff.
who's that?
Pardon?
What's that?
Those big planes that were flying to Nellis Air Force Base.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's some medium-sized. There's some small ones, and there's some humongous ones. Everybody knows what a C-130 is. That's one that you can stack 6 or 8 tanks in and fly away anyway. Well, the C-130A and the newest one, the A1, hold almost twice that amount.
Just,
Now, they didn't mention those. I found out later that there's a lot of information that's not in that. Now, Nellis Air Force Base is interesting in one aspect, and that is it has underground places to put aircraft, bunches of them, big ones, little ones, small ones, and ooh-wee. Well, the count is very simple. There's 25 C-17s. Those are not little planes. The B-25 was a little one. It was just a double engine job with the propellers. The C-17 is about twice that, maybe 2.5 times that each. 25 of them can haul quite a few people. That's what they're primarily designed to haul. Now, you add to that 12, 1 dozen at least, okay, C-130s, C-130A and A1s, and you can take just about anything anywhere. You could load up the Empire State Building without disturbing a brick.
they're
And
big. I
fly
heard they
away
were
with it.
huge.
Yeah. Well, I heard also there were about 300 fighter jets and bombers. All of that equipment went to Nellis Air Force Base. The reason it did is because it could be put underground. Nobody can get a satellite picture as to what you got. And you want to hide that if you can, because they'll come in and they'll bomb whatever you got and blow your stuff away before you get it off the ground. We don't want that to happen. Now, the Marines, and I use that plural, Marines, all up and down the California coast have been put on full alert. That's the same status as if we were having a nuclear war.
Wow.
This is conventional. All right.
Mhm.
Now, something similar to this happened on the East Coast. We've got certain military Air Force capabilities on the ground here in stupid old West Virginia even. The hillbillies get to watch the jets, or whatever. And the deal is this. You've got about, or very similar, amounts of material and aircraft on the East Coast. Now, on the East Coast, they had, a long time ago, they had what they called coal mines. Coal, but hole, as in a hole in the ground. You make a hole and you go through it. Okay. They have those in several mining places that mine salt and other materials. And the East Coast has a mountain range between it and the ocean. And everything in the second tier of the mountains, it looks like a Swiss cheese. It's got so many holes in it. Well, you can park a lot of aircraft in something like that. Some of them are more than big enough to put a B-52 through the front door and not get anywhere near to scraping the wings. That's a big hole around. Okay. To give you an example, a C-130 has at least 11 people associated with it. That's both crew in the air and crew on the ground. Each one. That's a C-130. So you got 300. You got 30. You got 12 times. Let's see. 6. Let's make it 8. You get like 84 personnel just associated with the aircraft. That's the C-130s. The 17s are a little better. 5 of them per each. Well, that's 125 people just for the crews for the aircraft. Fighter jets. Now, these fighter jets and bombers, F-111A type, each fighter has 5, if you include the air crew. There's 3 on the ground, 2 up in the air at least. Okay, so 5 times 3, that's 1,500. Yeah, that's just individuals. This is just for the air. And then you had the bombers. The bombers require at minimum 7 each. So, and we don't know how many of each one of those there was. And I wouldn't tell you if I did know, for the simple fact that I don't want somebody to hear who shouldn't hear this. Now, so we got all this fun and games going on. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 9 or 10 battle groups. Now that includes an aircraft carrier with up to I think it's 50, 60 planes each, right? Plus the crew for the boat, plus ammunition and etc. Now all of the active duty ground troops in the country have been moved. They're no longer in the middle of the country. You'll find them on both coasts.
There's some in the Southwest too, isn't there? I saw a ton of. I counted 10 helicopters one day outside on my patio. I'm looking up there. I heard the sound, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and I don't know how many I missed.
Well, my question to you is, how many people were on it?
I have no idea. I can't see that far.
Well, the newer version of a chopper is such that it generally has a pilot, co-pilot, and 1 or more gunners, 1 or more doormen. So you're talking 4 on average per each. Okay, they counted 200 and some in Washington D.C. The same day this movement of aircraft happened. Okay, now they haven't taken off yet. And that's the good sign. Here's what happens. Okay, there's a thing that we have that's called we live, everybody else dies. Continuity of government. No, I'm serious. If you ain't a heavy hitter, and I mean heavy, like a Bill Gates, you don't get to go where it's safe. The government does. It's called the continuity of government. Now, what's interesting about it is that it has its own laws and rules outside of the things everybody's familiar with. You can forget our Constitution and most of the laws, and all they do is they just go inside and they close the door and they lock that mother and they go, have fun out there. Nukes ought to start falling any minute.
Well, we would have the ETs stop the nukes.
Huh?
The ETs would not allow the benevolent ETs would not allow the nukes because it affects the entire universe.
If they can stop it. You got to remember, we prolificated in nuclear weapons. Bear that in mind. Okay. So let's go back to conventional warfare. They had a problem up in Maine. They dropped a bomb from an aircraft or northern Michigan. They dropped, it was Maine. They dropped a Moab, northern Michigan, and the fighter jet all of a sudden had severe technical problems. Now, I tell you that it was shot down by an energy weapon. And they found the pilot, but they won't say what kind of condition he was in. Now, when a pilot exits an aircraft, if you just jump out the window, you're going to hit trees and stuff that will probably chop you up in pieces. However, it does not allow for any of the, and I use this loosely, burn marks all over the body of something. This is why the condition of the pilot is unknown. They won't say. Well, it's classified if you push them. Here's the thing about.
But our side has the pilot.
Yeah, we got it. We got him
okay.
back.
Okay.
What's left of him. There was one problem with the aircraft. It had 2 or 3 places where there were holes melted through the side of the aircraft. I'm sorry, but you don't do that with regular weapons. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, the Moab landed on top of a section that was large. It was about a mile square. Large rooms, tunnels, things of that nature, all underground. And from what I understand, it wiped out about 50,000 enemy troops.
That's what I heard. I read that too, and I was wondering if that was true. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I got some people that were connected on a high level, and they said, "Yeah, but I can't. But don't you tell them that I said so, and don't you name my name and all this other stuff." So I won't. However, that's what happened.
It is out there, though. I will say that because I've seen an article about it. I don't.
Well, the other part about this is that apparently the ideal of China attempting to take over the United States is real, and it's a military operation. It ain't a little one. E.T. I don't know if everybody's listening to that David Wilcock thing or not. I would hope
I did. It's good.
But at the end of it, he talks about the ETs. Now, ETs are allowed. The Galactic Federation is allowed to directly interfere in our dealings. Okay, but only when it reaches a certain level. Right now, it's down here. When it gets up to chin deep, ooh, we got some bad buddies coming in. Now, they are allowed to annihilate as many of the enemy as is needs to fix the situation. You want to calm down. You want us to burn up some few more thousand people, and that's the offer that the Chinese are going to get. They're the ones that were involved in the pseudo nuclear devices used that turned the Sahara from a vibrant green, lush area into the sand pit it is now. So think about that. That happened within just a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. The whole of the Sahara Desert was created. Poof. Dean Chambers.
By the this is the CCP, right?
What?
This is the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's only a part of the situation. We have enough of them here in the Democratic Party that we call Marxists to float battleships if you tied the corpses all together. So what the situation is this. Until Trump's out of office, officially out of office, he still has all the rights and capabilities, including powers, to initiate what's called continuity of government. When that happens, you'll see all of those helicopters that you saw around Washington, D.C. or heard about in hundreds greater numbers than what you saw over your house. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking 300-400.
Yeah, but I saw them on a daily basis. They kept, not as many.
Yeah,
but
well,
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway.
They're bringing military experts and personnel and technicians into turning the lights on. This complex in Arizona is huge, and I do mean huge. It makes Cheyenne Mountain and places like that look like child's play. Anyway,
Well, that's
what the
good.
deal is that they're turning the lights on, checking everything out, making sure it all works. Now, here's where the fun begins. When you see all of these helicopters take off loaded with people, they won't be carrying much. Maybe a briefcase, maybe. And yet, all of a large portion of our government will be shipped to safe places to live for the next 200 years if they need to. 200 years? Ooh. Can you imagine how inbred they'd be or in a 200-year period? Woo, that's scary. Just that alone. I'd hate to see what might go on if it was longer. But anyway, we have had the second virus come out, and it didn't work the way it should. So they brought the third one. They haven't turned it loose yet. But when they do, it's guaranteed to be nasty. The stories about that sort of thing include zombie apocalypses and all this other stuff. Well, you don't need one. If a person gets this stuff and dies within 24 hours, you don't need it. You don't need to push it. You don't need to make it worse than it is. The gist of this is that at the same time, you see the people, the personnel in those choppers over DC taking off, and they'll go right over the Appalachians. They'll go right across over to, well, it's not actually Nellis Air Force Base, but an offshoot from it that has one of the largest containable areas in the country. Okay, it's also modern and up to date. Now, the ones at I forget the name of that mountain. There's a couple of mountains. Anyway, Cheyenne Mountain is one. There's another one not too far from there, and there's a third one
I had a brother
that
who used
we've
to
been
work at
cleaning
Cheyenne
out.
Mountain.
I forget the name of that base. Anyway, that base, those bases are have quirks, and one of them is nuclear generators. These nuclear generators can run for approximately 1,000 years. Who's going to need to change the battery in 1,000 years? And nobody will remember how, what to do.
So what is the purpose of all this? Are they saying that this third virus or the second virus or whatever virus there is?
The viruses have scared the people into their houses. That was what it was for. They're trying to cause us to sequester of our own volition or volunteer to be contained, etc. Although what that means is that you no longer have a free country. That means that all of your constitutional rights are in the wind. That means if you don't got a gun, you're liable to be in trouble because they're going to come for you. What are they going to come for you for? They're going to come to drag you out, kicking, screaming, hold you down, and inject you with.
We had to stop it right there because Drake was about to say a word that starts with a V. The chat with Drake in its entirety will be uploaded when the audio problems are fixed.
Hello, everyone. This is Gail of Gaia. I'm the founder and producer of Free Range. I do my best to bring you the best in guests and information that's very relevant to you today. I'm making this short little clip today in order to ask you to please contribute to the channel. I'm not monetized by YouTube, I don't sell any products, and I don't have Patreon. So I depend upon your contributions. And I know everyone's having a tough time, but even a small amount from a number of people would help tremendously. So thank you. Please contribute. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do need your help. Thank you.